Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Screwjob Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Screwjob Podcast. I'm Mike, and today I'm doing a little jokey match because I just want to put something out so I don't have to scramble on the first week of August. So I decided that I was going to pick a match that I heard from the horse's mouth on a YouTube video starring James E. Cornette, also known as Jim Cornette, also known as that guy who yelled at Dairy Queen, at a Dairy Queen worker. Jim Cornette is one of my wrestling heroes. He's a loudmouth Southern manager who doesn't let anyone, who lets everyone know what he's feeling. He does not like Kevin Dunn and Vince Russo like myself. And he is just an all-around funny and hilarious person. I would go recommend listening to any of his rants online, any of his shoot promos on YouTube. You can find him everywhere. He's hilarious, one of my favorite people, and one of my inspirations. I play D&D. I used a D&D bard character that was heavily inspired off of Jim Cornette, and I just really love him and his style. Now, for this match, we'll be reviewing Jim Cornette is facing off against Paul E. Dangerously, also known as Paul Heyman, the manager of the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar whenever he shows up. The founder of ECW, and the man who couldn't keep it financially supported. A great, underappreciated announcer, much like Cornette himself, and a above-average manager. But now he's an advocate, so I guess it's different. Cornette and Heyman in the 80s, they were having a massive feud that got completely ruined by Jim Herd and the new Turner Broadcasting corporate guys and bookers. Basically, Heyman had come to, or at this point, dangerously rather, had challenged Jim Cornette and his Midnight Express by bringing the original Midnight Express back to WCW, or Jim Crockett Promotions at that time, and challenged the new Midnight, and they got involved in a massive feud that got ruined by Jim Herd and Turner Broadcasting because he was not fond of Cornette and the Midnight Express. Eventually, it all got muddied up and ruined, and Cornette was looking to just get to have a proper blow-off to a feud, and he got his opportunity in this Tuxedo match versus Dangerously. So Cornette and Dangerously, two managers. Cornette would take a fair amount of bumps in his life. He fell off a scaffolding in a match. Match wasn't very interesting, but, still, people fell from scaffolding. I can relate. As someone who has worked with scaffolding, I can relate to the scariness of it, I guess, and the heights, and the potential of falling. But, this match is just a silly, fun, little short match. It's going to be a short episode of the podcast. We're going to have a little fun. So, for this match, to join me, we're going to be going to the 42 minutes, 48 second mark on the network. And this is from Great American Bash 1989. This is one of the earlier podcast episodes we ever had. And we will be starting our pay-per-views in, let's wait until we get to the 4:10 mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start your pay-per-view. The manager's tuxedo match. Here comes Paul E. Dangerously. He has stolen Cornette's racket, apparently. Look at young Heyman with he has hair and everything. An almost full head of hair. Oh, so also, historically, Jim Cornette loves his burgers. And that's why he loves Dairy Queen. And he has a burger towel you can buy on his website. And we got Jim Ross on commentary. I believe that's Ross, right? Louisville, Kentucky's very own Jim Cornette. Also, when I first watched this match, I noticed there was a sign that just showed up. It's kind of petty that WWE is censoring signs that say WWF stinks on it. Like, really, you're gonna censor that? How petty are you guys? Come on. Don't be redonkulous. See if I can get the commentary crew for you. I thought I heard Jim Ross. This also has one of the most unintentionally hilarious calls I've ever heard. The most homoerotic commentary call I've ever of wrestling history happens during this match, so that's gonna be fun. Also, Jim Cornette was working injured during this. So he's hurt, and Paulie dangerously with his signature telephone hitting Cornette in the knees. Whichever one it is, don't worry about it. I can't find the guy who says the line, but Jim Ross is one of the announcers. And I love him and his great commentary. Also, to start this match, I was talking over it, but dangerously threw some powder in Cornette's face and then attacked him in the knees. Again, there are no real DQs in this match, I don't believe. It's just strip your opponent of the tuxedo. Ooh, crack my necks. Boom, solid joke. Let's see. No, I can't find who the commentators are, other than Jim Ross. That's annoying. I'm gonna be doing some searching while I'm doing this, but I will be commentating as much as possible. Heyman removing his tie to go back to work. Looks like he's potentially gonna go strangle Cornette. Yup, strangling with the tie. Commentary team. There we go. It is a very big brawl. Bobby C. Who is Bobby C? Jim Crockett Promotions. It's not Bobby Eaton, is it? No. It wouldn't be Bobby Eaton doing commentary. Is it Bobby? I don't know who it is. It doesn't matter. He says something hilarious, though. Dangerously and Cornette on the outside. Bobby Caudle. That's who it is. There we go. I found it. No worries. And now we can actually commentate. Cornette. Oh, well, thank you, Jim Ross, for doing my work for me. Cornette was just rammed shoulder first into the steel post. Now, oh, there goes dangerously posing. Come on, Heyman. You haven't earned that. Cornette crawling back into the ring. Also, Cornette hates hardcore wrestling. I put up with it. I never really got into ECW, and I don't really enjoy a lot of the... It's great matches, but I never really enjoyed the needless violence for no reason. Misses the big elbow drop. You know, that's just me. Heyman hates it, or, not Heyman. Cornette hates it, and I can respect his decision. Heyman throwing some potatoes right in Cornette's face. Doing some slapping-like maneuvers. Oh, big slaps. Alright, let's see some clothes start coming off here. Thank you, Bobby Caudle, for that. Thank you, Bob Caudle, for the most homoerotic call in all of wrestling history. Cornette stripping the shirt off dangerously. This is nice to have just a little short match, a little short episode of the podcast, isn't it? And I feel like this should go in the WCW section. So check out that playlist right here. Top right-hand corner. Boom. Both collide in the ring. Both men down. Heyman's got some more powder. Dangerously has more powder. Oh, no. This could be the end. Mamma mia, that's a spicy powder. Oh, Heyman throws gets the powder in his own face. And he's yanking his pants down. Dangerously's gone. He's running away. Slapping his butt as he goes. Jim Cornette, my personal hero, wins. Fun little match. I thought it was fun. Had some fun here. Do a short match, so I'm not worried about the start of August. Jim Cornette grabbing his tennis racket back. He's got the phone. Throws it down. That phone is trash. Throws down Dangerously's racket. Holds up his own. Cornette and his racket. You can't separate the two. Ooh, we got to replay the powder shot also. Also, I love the way Heyman does like a pratfall. And like the kiss the chef motion. He clearly throws it in his own face, but it's still pretty funny. And he double taps himself. And say what you want about comedy wrestling, but I think this was a fun match. Yep. And there he goes, slapping his own butt. And then back to Gordon Soley, one of the greatest announcers of all time. And greatest interviewers of all time. But that was really all we had to do for this short little episode. Thought we'd have a little fun. So if you like this video, like it. If you want to see more content, subscribe. New videos come out every Friday at noon. You can go check out our Facebook, Screwjob Podcast, on Facebook. Our Twitter, @Screwjob Podcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/Screwjob Podcast. And do yourself a favor and go play some tennis with Jim Cornette. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to. Have a great night, everybody.